Citizenship Component. We teach quite a bit about our government and our founding documents, and try to get them to really understand how much they should appreciate their citizenship as Americans and what that means. So we do, like I said, a lot of government. We talk about different types of economic structures and how that compares to what we have here, as well as governmental structures. And then we do a lot of current events that are kind of in line with this. A lot of things going on in the world, so we try to bring that to them so they can kind of understand what's going on and once again appreciate what it means to be an American. And then lastly, of course, sense of pride and personal discipline and responsibility in what they're doing. So these are the objectives and the things that we're trying to drive with our cadets. Just some administrative data. Right now we're sitting at 93 cadets. It's about a 60-40 split, male to female. We hover between the mid-90s to maybe 110. Last semester we had 106, so it just kind of depends. Usually the second semester is a little bit lower, but we're usually around low 100. You can see that LE stands for Leadership Education. So if you're a first-year cadet, you're Leadership Education 1, LE 1. So 75% or so of our cadets are in the LE 1 and 2 category, and then the remainder are 3 and 4. When I was talking about cadet leadership, we actually have jobs that we give our cadets modeled after the Marine Corps model. So because of where we are, how many cadets we have, we're a company structure. So we have a company commander, that's the CO, the commanding officer of the company. There's an executive officer, the second in command, and then a first sergeant who is the senior enlisted advisor to the commanding officer. And then further breaking it down, we're on the block system, obviously, so each block serves as a platoon. And so each platoon has a platoon commander, a platoon sergeant, and a guide. The guide is basically the assistant platoon sergeant. And then we have a small staff. It's a lot that goes into running the ROTC program. One aspect of it is what the sergeant major and I do in terms of teaching, but then there's an administrative and a logistics portion that goes with it. So we employ kind of some of the cadets to help us out. Maintaining cadet records, there's promotions that need to be tracked and this type of thing. And then that's S1 is administration. S4 is all the logistics that we have to do. We maintain a storeroom that has many uniforms and other items in there. Those have to be inventoried and received for when they come in and those type of things. So we use cadets that show aptitude in these areas to help us out as instructors. So this is an opportunity for them to kind of put their leadership into practice when they're in charge of other cadets or they're responsible for actual items, gear, or those type of things. So the extracurriculars is really where the program comes alive. So we do have 3 competitive teams, and 3 years ago the state of Mississippi developed a state championship format for all the junior ROTCs, all the services. So there's 85 high schools in the state that have junior ROTC, and they've broken that down into 6 regions. So in order to become a state champion, you have to be one of the top 3 schools in your region in a regional competition, then you move on to the state championship. So one of our teams is a physical fitness team, and for the state championship team, it's a 10-person team, 7 male and 3 female, and then we bring some alternates. And so we did win state last year, so we're working to do that again this year. The Raider Challenge, we just started this. This is kind of a more field type thing where you're running around, and I got some pictures of you're in your boots and uniform, crawling through mud and carrying a bunch of heavy things. And so it's a little bit different take on physical fitness. So I'll show you a few of those pictures. And then there are invitational. Schools may host a physical fitness competition, that type of thing. This is a great part of the program. We have a lot of the cadets that actually may not compete on the competitive team, but still come to our workouts. We've seen a lot of kids change over the years. Their bodies have changed, their confidence has changed, they're getting some muscles, those type of things. And so that's been a great value to our program. We got a couple of pictures here coming up. It might be a little slow. This is one of the Raider challenges. You can maybe see the agony on First Sergeant Griffin's face there. He's in the top left. So that's a very heavy stretcher that they're carrying. It's weighted down. I don't know. It's 150 or 200 pounds. They've been carrying it over rough terrain amongst other things. So that was in Tennessee. We go there. We just started going there. It's our 2nd year, and we camp that weekend as well. So it's a good time. So they crawl through the mud, same place. So it's a good opportunity for them to get dirty. And then this is kind of the aftermath of the team, as you can see there. That was actually 2 teams. We fielded two co-ed teams is what we fielded at that competition. And this was in Tennessee, and we did another one in Georgia. We've got another one coming up in Missouri. And next year we'll probably add another one to that mix. We're just starting to get into this. And actually, we were able to put one of the parts of the competition is a rope bridge. They have to build a rope, put a rope across about a 100-foot expanse and get the team over, and you're timed on that. And so one of the great things, we were able to get a couple of, there's no trees out in Lake Corman, we get a couple of poles out there so we can practice actually, and we cut our time in more than half now that we can practice, so we appreciate that. This is just more of the traditional type fitness. This was last year's state championship. That's Malika Lyles. She graduated last year. She's at Georgetown now. She was one of our stars for the state championship team last year. So that's the ammo can relay, carrying cans. And this is First Sergeant Jalen Griffin. He's still in our program. He's actually enlisted in the Marine Corps, so he'll ship in June to Parris Island to become a Marine. We have a drill team as well, so this is the marching thing you probably have seen before. They're marching with and without rifles, a little bit bigger team. We can have up to 40 kids. And the drill team really stresses discipline and attention to detail and teamwork. For them to move as a unit and really focus on the little things, because that's what the judges are looking for. So we compete also in invitationals, same format, regional and state championship type format. This is one of the drill teams. This was 2 years ago in Biloxi. That's where they held the state championship. They're actually moving it next year to Jackson, but it's been in Biloxi for the last 3 years. And then just another shot of the drill team getting ready to perform down in Biloxi. And then finally, in terms of competitive teams, we have a marksmanship team, a rifle team. So we're shooting air rifles, a pellet air rifle. It's a 10-meter distance, and they're shooting at a very, very small bull. So talk about needing to have focus, and we've seen this with a lot of the cadets when they start. It really does force them to focus and pay attention to the little things in order to hit that very, very small 10 ring. So we've got, let's say, 14 cadets right now that are heavily involved in a rifle program, and we hit a couple milestones this year at the state championship. We did pretty well, and some of our individual shooters did really well. So the rifle team, kind of a similar construct with invitationals and the state championship. There's a couple of our shooters right here still in the program. The one closest to us, that's Jacob Thompson. He's our #1 shooter, had a great year this year, hit a couple of personal milestones. And then, so moving on from the competitive teams, we do community service as well. These are just to highlight some of the bigger events that we do. We put on a Veterans Day ceremony at Lake Cormorant, and then the St. Jude Marathon. We do that every year. It's a big day in Memphis, and we help out there. Night to Shine, the Tim Tebow Foundation puts that on. They do it over here at Longview Point, as many of you probably know. And so we've been a part of that the last 3 years, and that's a great night for us to help out. And the cadets really enjoy doing that. And then Memorial Day, we go to Twin Oaks Funeral Home. We do help them out with a few things, planting some flags and color guard and that type of thing. And of course, we do color guards for various venues and events. Additional events, we put on a birthday ball every year to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday. It's a big deal. History and tradition for the Marine Corps is huge, and so the birthday ball is an important event that all Marines celebrate. One of our favorite evolutions every year is land navigation and camping. We just finished that package. So along with teaching leadership and citizenship, we do teach in general military skills, and one of them is land navigation. How to use a topographical map, a compass, and a protractor, and basically be able to find your way in the woods or somewhere else with only giving like a grid coordinate or those type of things and using the terrain. So we spent about a month teaching them these things, and then our culminating event is we go to Camp Courier, and we spend a whole day land nabbing. I'll go out there ahead of time, the day before, set out 10 points, and basically we'll give them the grid coordinates on Friday, and they will go out in teams of 4 or 5 and go find these points. So usually it's 5 in one area of the camp and 5 somewhere else, and then they will break for chow. They get an MRE, meal ready to eat, so that's good. They get to experience that. A lot of complaints that they said it smelled like dog food. I mean, I love it. I told them I was going to eat that for dinner as well. But so it's a real good day for them. They're out in the woods, And so we put out the experienced cadet who knows what they're doing with some of the ones that aren't as experienced, and the idea is they're each supposed to lead their team basically to one of the points and then rotate. So there are things like, like I said, working the compass, plotting the grids, pace count, understanding how many meters they've traveled, and those type of things. So it's pretty fun. And then we camp overnight for those that want to. So we had 84 cadets romping through the woods on Friday. We just did this Friday, and then 39 of them stayed overnight. We camped out on Friday night at Curry, and we were done on Saturday morning. So it's one of our real good events. And like I said, it gives the ones. We had about 19 different teams out there, so it's 19 cadets that get to lead other cadets, putting into practice what we're teaching them. And then over the summer, it doesn't stop. We have rifle camps. We do a drill camp and a freshman orientation. We PT every day. For those that want to come every day, we'll have physical fitness sessions. And then the last 2 summers, we've taken to Parris Island, the Marine Corps Recruit Depot. And so that is a great experience for them. They get to spend a week feeling like what it's like to be a Marine recruit. They give us a drill instructor, and that drill instructor is with us, and we do a lot of the things that the recruits do. And that is definitely a team building experience, and personally, they really have to suck some things up. Mrs. Geis was with us last summer, so she got to witness the cadets going through this very challenging week, some tears in the beginning, but they get through it, and they're happy to be done. But also to accomplish it, we had a lot of return. About almost half were returning from the year prior. So they wanted to go back, even though there's a lot of pain that goes into it. But we reward them at the end. This year we took them the last day in the afternoon. We took them to downtown Beaufort. If you ever been to Beaufort, South Carolina, it's historical downtown. There's a waterfront and that kind of thing. So there's some reward that comes with all the hard work they put in during the week and dealing with everything they have to deal with. And this summer, instead of Parris Island, we're working to try to go to D.C. Sergeant Major and I really want to show them our nation's capital. Many of them have not been there. I've been stationed there outside there many times as a Sergeant Major. So we really want to take them there. So that's what we're working toward right now. So about 36 cadets that are signed up to go, and then a few parents are going to go with us as well. So that's kind of what we're working toward right now, is to get to D.C. this summer. And this is just 2 pictures from Parris Island. This is the Rappel Tower. So that's about 65 feet above the ground right there. That's Staff Sergeant Anna Miller. She's still in the program. She's a junior this year. And so she's getting ready to launch down the Rappel Tower. So talk about like boosting confidence and getting over fears. When you get up on that tower and you're hanging 10 over the 10 toes over the side there, it changes. It's one thing to look up. When you're standing there looking down, it's a lot different. So just about every cadet rappelled. We didn't do it this year, but this is from the year prior. Just about everyone we got to go down, and so that's just one area of building confidence and your ability to conquer your fears. And then this is one of the kind of the endurance courses they call it, where you're crawling through sand and over and under stuff and being yelled at by a drill instructor. So this is four-person team here trying to make it through this course. That was from this past year. So really what it comes down to is, Sergeant Major and I love what we're doing. We love to have an influence on these cadets, and we're hoping that we are. One of the things about the extracurriculars and the ability to travel, it gives us much more time with them. The more time we spend with them, we feel like the more opportunity we can to pour into them, our experiences, but also hopefully character and drive home, leadership and things that will serve them well. Most of them will never go into the military, which is fine. This is really about building skills for post-high school, whether they're going to college or they're going to get a job. Every employer would probably like someone who's a leader and someone they can trust, who has character. Just like any college, if you're sitting there getting interviewed by someone from the admissions office, they want to know, what are you going to bring to this campus leadership-wise, and can you sit there and carry yourself well when you're speaking to someone across the table. And those are the kind of things that we're trying to drive home. We do public speaking as well, as we're working on right now. My cadets are working on the research projects, and they'll be presenting in front of people. So the ability to do that, we think is important. So we love what we're doing, and we greatly appreciate the support we get from Mrs. Geis. That has been a significant force multiplier for us in terms of getting the program up and running and keeping it going at the pace it's going. So with that, that concludes my brief, unless there's any questions for me.
Didn't Miss Geis go to Paris Island one time? Is that correct?
I did, and I went down the Rappel Tower.
That doesn't surprise me one bit. No, but we appreciate it. Seriously, ROTC program, y'all are teaching great life skills there, and I believe it helps the entire school. I'm sure Ms. Geis would testify to that. If you had not mentioned the Night to Shine, I was going to mention that because I saw your cadets in action that evening, and they were doing a great job there. And y'all are great representatives for Lake Homer High School and the second school.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. If anyone wants a good workout, we work out Monday through Friday from 4 to 5. You want to get in the best shape of your life, you can come join us and work out during class on Friday. So
is that 4 to 5 a.m.?
Right, it's in the PM, actually. Well, it's in the afternoon, so if anyone wants to come out, you can get in the best shape of your life.
We appreciate you, Ms. Geis. We appreciate your leadership at Lake Homer High School. Taylor, we look forward to recognizing you again in the future. We know you've got a bright future ahead with swimming. And John, even though we would love to bring you back and you improve your ACT score, I don't think that's possible since you're 36, but we will be recognizing you again next spring because we ask all of our seniors who have made it 30 plus to come in before the board, and so we will be bringing you back for sure. At that time, also we recognize Star Student and all those things, so you'll have some more appearances before the board. And Ms. Bart, please tell Sarah I said hello too. So if any of y'all that were involved in superintendent's report need to go at this time, it's perfectly fine. We're about to move into other business. We appreciate y'all being here. That concludes my superintendent's report.
Attorney's report, Mr. Key.
Yes, Madam President. I have one litigation matter and one contract matter to discuss before.
One litigation matter and one contract. I need a motion to approve the agenda for February 15th, 2018. Oh, what does that?
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
Okay. Y'all have to keep me straight now.
Make a motion we approve the minutes of February 15th.
Okay, do I have a second? Any comments or questions besides what Mr. Nichols said? If there's not any comments or questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, the motion passed. See if I can do better on this one. Okay, do I have a second? Any comments or questions besides what Mr. Nichols said? If there's not any comments or questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, the motion passed. See if I can do better on this.